Hare Krishna. Okay, good, very good. Welcome all to Bhagavad Gita. Our reading from the second chapter and quick revision. We've seen in the first chapter 5 doubts of Arjuna. Everybody remembers 5 doubts of Arjuna. Yeah, it's there on the screen. First chapter, 5 doubts. Compassion. Yeah, compassion for all living entities who are going to die or have problems in the war. Loss of enjoyment. If everybody dies, all the brothers, sisters dies, and everybody is in shock, then who will enjoy the kingdom or enjoy the war, the winning of the war? Then fear of sinful reaction. So much of bad karma is going to get generated. Then destruction of family traditions. All of the good people are going to die. So nobody is going to be there to guide, the next generation. So obviously, all the traditions will die off. And lastly, we saw in the beginning of the second chapter, indecision. Yeah, Lord Krishna, when he is telling Arjuna to go and fight, Arjuna says, no, I'm seeing my grandfather and my teacher, to whom I should not be even giving any kind of disrespect. Now, how can I fight the war against them? So that's the situation that we saw at the end of the first chapter. We began our second chapter with this fantastic introduction by on Lord Krishna as to who is Bhagwan. Yeah, so who remembers who is Bhagwan? Definition as given in the second chapter by Srila Prabhupada. When the word Bhagwan Vacha comes, yeah, at that particular point of time, Srila Prabhupada gives a definition of Bhagwan. Yeah, definition of Bhagwan. Who remembers? Anybody?
The Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
the one who has five qualities, all same,
Six, six
uh,
qualities.
six qualities, all
Right.
same,
Yes.
all all
All wealth,
all wealth, all fame, all beauty, uh,
all
all
power,
yes, all power,
all
yes,
strength,
yeah, and the
and
last one is
Renunciation.
renunciation. Very nice.
renunciation.
Yeah, he is fully a Vairagi. Even after he has all of these five amazing things, he's still not attached to any of them. Yeah. So such a person is defined as Bhagwan. Yeah. So by anybody knows who has defined this? Which Muni has defined this actually?
Parasar Muni.
Parashar Muni. Very nice. Yeah, Parashar Muni has defined this particular definition. He gives this definition of Bhagwan in that particular sense. Very nice. So yeah, Parashar Muni defines this particular position, and in the second chapter beginning, we see when the title heading comes Sri Bhagwan Vacha, Srila Prabhupada explains who is Bhagwan. Yeah, and Srila Prabhupada also gives in the purport three understandings of Bhagwan in the same purport. Who anybody remembers what that one is?
So Brahman, impersonal Brahman,
Very nice.
Atma and Bhagwan.
Paramatma, yeah, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Yeah. So very nice. Yeah. So Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam vijnanam avyayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. Yeah. So that's how the understanding comes of who Bhagavan is. And a nice analogy is also given. Who remembers the analogy? To understand
Sunshine.
Brahman,
Sunshine
sunshine,
is
very nice.
Brahman.
Sunshine
And
is Brahman. Good.
sun surface as Paramatma.
Very
And
nice.
the sun itself as a Bhagwan.
The sun planet or the sun, the deity of the sun is as Bhagavan. Very nice. Yeah. So that's how we understood. And then also Lord Krishna starts to give instructions to Arjuna. Yeah, of course, before that, we saw one important event happening before Lord Krishna gives instructions to Arjuna. What is that event? What happens? How does just Krishna doesn't just start giving instructions? No, something happens before that, before Arjuna.
Arjuna surrenders to Lord Krishna in
Very
2.7.
nice. Very nice. Arjuna surrenders to Lord Krishna. Yes. Yeah, Arjuna surrenders to Lord Krishna. And what does he say?
He says, you tell me what I have to do. And from Sakha to Lord Krishna becomes the Guru and Arjuna becomes the disciple.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah. From Sakha, he becomes a Guru. So very nice. And then, of course, Lord Krishna smiles, Lord Krishna chastises, and Lord Krishna then starts to give him instructions. And what was the first instruction that Lord Krishna gives?
Difference between the body and soul.
Differentiating between the body and the soul. Very nice. He says, none of these people are going to die because the soul does not die. Everybody is going to remain here always. Yeah, so if you remember, let's look at this slide deck. Yeah, so Lord Krishna in 2.12. Yeah, we saw all of this. Krishna not wanting to fight. Yeah, Arjuna not wanting to. Arjuna is surrendering to Lord Krishna. That's what we can see here. Arjuna surrenders. Yeah, and asks for instruction. Okay. Yeah, then we saw, of course, Arjuna saying not, I will not fight. Then Krishna comes in with the very first instruction. Yeah, that body and the soul, and he differentiates between the body and the soul. That's what we saw on this particular slide. 1 minute, just give me a minute. I will send a reminder for people to join in. Please. Okay. Yeah. So we saw differentiation between body and the soul, and Arjuna is being instructed by Krishna that none of the people are going to die. Anybody remembers how does Krishna say? What does Krishna say to begin this instructions? 2.12 is what I was looking at. That there was never a time where I or all these kings or you will never exist in the past, present, or the future. Yeah. Every time, everybody of us will exist. That's what he says. Natve vaham jatu nasam, natvam neme janadipaha. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. Yeah. Sarve vayamatah param. So there was never a time where I or all these kings, nor you, of course, nor you as in Arjuna, did not exist, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be, which means, yeah, all the jivas, Krishna is now looking at it from a soul perspective. He has brought Arjuna to a higher platform. He wants to bring Arjuna to a higher platform. Stop thinking of the body and think of the soul. Yeah. So that is when that's the first instruction Lord Krishna gives. We discussed about the knowledge of the soul. Yeah, and the 13th one, what does the 13th one say? How does the soul keeps on passing from boyhood to youth to old age? Yeah, that's what Vasam says, Jirnani Yatha Vihaya we saw. No, not that. What is that? 2. Let's look at 2.13. I also forgot. Dehinosmin yatha dehe. Very nice. Yeah. Dehinosmin yatha dehe. Kaumaram yauvanam jara. Yeah. So Kaumaram. So dehe is just born. Kaumaram as in youth. Yeah. Jara as in old age. Yeah. And then what happens? He automatically passes on. The soul passes on to the next body. Again, the cycle starts. Yeah. So Krishna says the dhira tatra na muhyati. The dhira or the person who understands this, person who is in knowledge, he will not be bewildered by such a change. So Arjuna is bewildered. Arjuna is, oh, all these old people are, the Dronacharya and Bhishma are all going to die, and all these people are going to die. Anyway, they are going to die, is what Krishna is saying. Yeah, in fact, what you're going to do, you're going to give them better bodies. This old body, they will get relieved of the old body, and they will get better bodies. So the first knowledge which Lord Krishna gives is the knowledge of the soul. Yeah, that's what. And Krishna, of course, further expands into further verses. That one who knows, that's Dhira. Dhira, what does he do? Because he knows about this concept of the soul, he is eligible for liberation. Why? Because he tolerates happiness and distress. Yeah. So that's the other verse that Krishna talks of. Another concept that Krishna gives, we have to be equipoised. We don't have to be unnecessarily distressed or unnecessarily happy. If we are thinking, because all of this temporary bodily perception. If you're not the body, then what is this happiness and distress? That is also temporary. Yes, Krishna gives that information. Then we saw about how the jiva can focus on higher goals. Instead of just looking at temporary things here, we can look at higher goals when he comes out of this duality. What is the duality? Happiness, distress, sukha, dukkha, all of those particular things, when he focuses on the higher goal. Yeah. And Krishna then discusses about, we saw this difference between body and the soul. And two key differences he says. Yeah, the non-existent material body. Why is the material body non-existent? Because after some time it will go away. Yeah. So, and which means it is non-endurable. It does not continue for a long time. Whereas the soul, what is the soul? Soul is eternal. It will always be there. And there will be no change in that soul. So what only changes? The temporary body changes, and the soul just keeps on getting into these temporary bodies. And what does Krishna describe him? He says, vision of the seers of truth. Now, those who know the truth, what have they concluded? That the material body is not endurable and the soul is eternal. So that's the differentiation. Of course, also comes out of the spiritual world and the material world. Material world is temporary. Spiritual world is always there, permanent. Yeah. And we just come into this material world, go into the cycles of birth, old age, disease, death again and again and again and again. Until the time we have this desire, we will keep on creating these material worlds. Yeah. If we stop that desire to enjoy and go back home, back to Godhead, then we will be transferred here to the spiritual world. That's the understanding that we got. Yeah. And who is we here? We as the spirit soul. So Krishna therefore gives more information about the spirit soul. One of the things that he talks about is how the soul pervades the entire body. But even though the soul pervades the entire body, there is a location given of the soul. Where is that?
In heart.
In the heart. Very nice. Yeah, the location of the soul is defined in the Taittiriya Upanishad as if it's in the heart. Yeah, we also discussed about the heart transplant thingy, how the heart is only a seat. Yeah, the soul remains there. All this thing is when a heart transplant happens, the seat changes. The same soul remains. No other changes happen in that particular person. Only a mechanical body part gets changed, even though the seat, even though it's the seat of the soul. Yeah, so therefore, because the material bodies of the indestructible, immeasurable, eternal soul is a body is going to come to an end. Therefore, no harm in doing a proper fight, which is arranged. It's not wanton violence. It is a properly arranged, discussed, a fight. And therefore, Arjuna should not lament on this particular aspect, is what Lord Krishna is saying. Yeah, because the soul can neither be killed nor can it kill, even though just the body is getting killed. Yeah, so verse 19 we saw. Yeah, verse 20 also talks about the 6 changes of the body. Who remembers the 6 changes of the body? Yeah, no problem.
takes the birth.
It takes birth. Very
Uh,
nice.
then it takes the birth, it grows,
It
and
grows.
then it remains for some time,
Very
and
nice.
then
Remains for some time.
then grow it grows remains for some time.
It
Then
creates byproducts.
produce
Yeah. It,
produce some effect,
very nice.
and then it
It starts to dwindle, old
dwindles,
age.
dwindles, and then vanquish.
Sixth is die. Yeah, sixth he dies. Yeah, so six changes of the material body. You can see the body lying on the ground here, body undergoing these six changes. Yeah. But what about the soul? The soul, there is no change. Verse 2.20 talks about this. For the soul, there is no birth nor death at any time. Soul does not come into being, has not come into being, does not come into being, will not come into being, which means it always is eternal. Yeah, it's not that there is a soul has a birth. There is no birthday for the soul. Now, the body has a birthday. The soul does not have a birthday. Now, he is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. Yeah, and he is not slain when the body is slain. So when the body is killed, it does not mean the soul is also killed. Yeah. So that's the difference we see Lord Krishna clearly explaining about the difference as to who am I? Who am I? I am a spirit soul. I am not this body. That is what Lord Krishna is telling us in this particular verse. Yeah. And of course, we saw all of the different things about the soul, which we will see. And then the question which Krishna asks Arjuna. Not a, it's more of a statement rather than a question. It's a rhetorical question. That how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Yeah, so nobody is going to. When the war is going to happen, no soul is going to get killed. Only the bodies are going to get killed. And why? Because the bodies are executing various karmas, yeah, and the karmas, result of their karmas has to be felt by that particular atma. Yeah. So anyways, the point Lord Krishna is making is you are just mourning for a temporary body which is anyway going to die. Anyway, it's going to go away, because birth, old age, disease, death occurs to everybody. Yeah. So that's where we stopped in our last class. Further discussions on the soul is still going to continue. But any quick questions or comments so that we didn't have the class last time, so I thought I'll probably do a bit of revision to what we've seen till now. But any quick comments or questions or thoughts on this particular topic till now? No? Okay, then let's continue further to verse number 22, where further information about the soul is given by the Lord. Yeah. So soul, if you remember the mind map, we were talking about the mind map. So soul is in the center and different properties of the soul. So I hope you are making notes. Yeah, all of you are making notes about the spirit soul and the various properties of the spirit soul. Yeah, so let's look at further properties in 2.22. Yeah, Aruna Mataji can read this one.
Hare Krishna. Veda vinashinam nityam ya enam ajam avyayam tatham sa purushah partha sambhataya pihanti kama.
Sorry, which one are you reading? 22,
okay,
right?
sorry, 20. Yeah.
I was also searching on
Vasam,
mobile.
yeah. Sorry,
Which verse? Yeah,
Babuji.
go ahead.
Vasam sujirnani yatha vihaya navani gunyanti naroparani तथा शरीराणि विहाय
Jirnani.
जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि.
Very nice. Yeah.
प्रभुजी यह छंद इज चेंज नो डिफरेंट छंद नो कार्पण्य दोषो वाला छंद आएगा ना यहाँ पे प्रभुजी.
It will come afterwards. Yeah. Same.
Child
same
of
chand.
transformation.
Yeah.
As a person puts on new garments, give up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yeah. So Krishna is now giving an example for us to comprehend the concept of the soul and the body. And he gives the example. What is the example? The person puts on new garments. When does he put new garments on? When he says the old garment, oh, this old shirt is now torn. Let me throw away this old shirt, wear a new shirt. Yeah. Same way, what does the soul do? The soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up old and useless ones. Yeah. So very simple concept here, where Srila Prabhupada explains that this change of the body keeps on happening from the time of birth itself. So when we were born, we had a small baby body. Now that body is gone totally. We don't have that body at all. Now we have a separate, different body altogether. And in fact, this change keeps on happening continuously. I think it's proven somewhere that all the cells of our body, every 7 years, it gets totally renewed. Yeah, we get a full set of new cells, which don't exist for every 7 years. That particular change slowly happens. And of course, also we keep on growing. The point here also is that as the body, keeps on, just as the soul changes, body, just like we change our shirt, we can see this. Yeah, for the soul, death is simply a change of clothes. That's what that particular verse basically means. That at the time of death, old body is given, new body is taken. It's only therefore, in this particular nice verse, it says, for the soul, death is simply a change of clothes. That's how the understanding here is. Srila Prabhupada refers to uh, previous verse 2.13, same one. The dehino asmin yatha dehe is also similar, which is basically youth, childhood, old age. Yeah, that the body does that. So, how does this particular transference occur? Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada tries an attempt to make us understand this particular concept in the second paragraph. Let's read the second paragraph. Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Second paragraph. No transfers of the atomic individual soul to another body is made possible by the grace of the super soul. The super soul fulfills the desire of the atomic soul as a one friend fulfills the desire of another. The Vedas like Mukul,
Mundaka.
Mundaka Upanishad, as well as the Shweta
Shvetashvatara.
Shvetastra Upanishad compare the soul and the super soul, two friendly birds sitting on the same tree. One of the birds, the individual atomic soul, is eating the fruits of the tree, and the other bird, Krishna, is simply watching his friend. Of these two birds, although they are the same in quality, one is captivated by the fruits of the material tree, while the other is simply witnessing the activities of his friend. Krishna is witnessing bird and Arjuna is the eating bird. Although they are friends, one is still the master and other is the servant.
Okay, hold on.
Forgetfulness of this.
Hold on. So this is one understanding here that that Srila Prabhupada is giving, that just as the soul is sitting inside the body, there is a friend of the soul. Who is this friend? The super soul, the Paramatma. Atma and the Paramatma. Both are part of the body. Both are sitting inside the body. And what they are like two friends. And when does the transference occurs? Who helps? The super soul helps the soul to transfer from one body to the other. Yeah, that's what the understanding here is. It is made possible by the grace of the super soul. Super soul helps the jiva, just like a friend. The friend says, oh, this old body is now become old. I'm not enjoying much. Can you help me? Yes, super soul. Yes, I will help you. Yeah, and the super soul makes arrangement for getting a new body for that particular jiva. And what is this? What is this particular jiva trying to do? He's trying to enjoy. Just like in a tree, if there are two birds, one bird is trying to eat all the fruits of the tree, And the other bird, okay, you want that fruit? Okay, I will give you. You want that one? Okay, I will give you. He's just making arrangement. He's just watching. Yeah, that's what the super soul is doing. He is just, it's described in the 13th chapter, Anumanta and Upadrishta. He is the overseer and the permitter. And that's what he is doing. He's simply witnessing the activities of his friend. Yeah. So although it looks as if they are both, same type of birds, but there is a master and servant relationship. Many times between both of them, both are serving each other. Like, of course, now most of the time it is the Supreme Lord in the form of the Super Soul is serving us. Yeah. The Jiva is not wanting to serve the Super Soul. All it does is just makes him as an order taker. Oh, give me this, give me that, give me that thing, give me that thing. I want this. All the desires are given by the soul, and the super soul is trying to fulfill all the desires. So only one way relationship occurs, that the super soul is trying to serve the soul. Yeah. But why is that happening? Because of the forgetfulness of the relationship. The soul forgets that it is not the master, it is a servant. Yeah. So as soon as it understands it is the master, what will happen? It will comprehend its entire problems that it is facing. Yeah. Let's see what Lord Srila Prabhupada says here. Yeah. Can you read from here? Krishna is the witnessing bird.
Krishna is the witnessing bird and Arjuna is the eating bird. Although they are friends, one still is the master and other is the servant. Forgetfulness, uh, forgetfulness of this relationship by the atomic soul is the cause of one's changing his position from one tree to another or from one body to another. The Jiva soul is struggling very hard on the tree of the material body. But as soon as he agrees to accept other bird as a supreme spiritual master, as Arjuna agreed to by voluntary surrender unto Krishna for instruction, uh, the subordinate bird immediately becomes free from all lamentations. Both Mukunda Upanishad
Mundaka.
3.12 and Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.2 and Shweta,
Shweta
Prabhuji, what
Shwatara.
is Shweta's Vatra Upanishad 4.7 confirms this.
Yeah, hold on. So that is the
Yeah.
point. I've highlighted that on the screen. Why is lamentation happening? Why are we so much lamenting? Why are they suffering? Because we are forgetful of the relationship of the atomic soul to the super soul. Yeah. And because of this forgetfulness, what is happening? We are jumping from one tree to the other, trying to find happiness, trying to search for happiness. Whereas, what is the only thing that we have to do? We have to surrender to Lord Krishna. Just like Arjuna, he was lamenting. What does he do as part of his lamentation? He surrenders to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna is now going to make him free of all lamentations. Yeah, that's what here it says. That by voluntary surrender to Krishna for instruction. So when we hear Lord Krishna's instructions, through our Guru, through Srila Prabhupada, through various acharyas, through various scriptures, what happens? We become free from lamentations. All the lamentations will go away. And this is confirmed where? It's confirmed in both Mundaka Upanishad and the Shweta Shvatara Upanishad. Yeah. Samane vruksho purusho nimagno nishaya sochati muhyamanah jushtam yada pashyati anyamisham asya mahimanam iti vita shokaha. Yeah, all the shoka goes away when we focus our attention to the super soul. Yeah, that's what here it says. Very beautiful verse. Yeah, although the two birds are in the same tree, so they are both in the same tree. Yeah, both in the body. The eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness. Oh, will I get that fruit or not? Will I get this or not? Oh, I will have to jump there. Oh, that is so high. I have to now go here. So much hard work I have to do. All this anxiety and moroseness, the jiva is trying to enjoy. What is he trying to do as the enjoyer of the tree? But if in some way or the other he turns his face to his friend, the Lord, and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxiety. So all we have to do is make Krishna our friend. Krishna is already our friend, but we are not acknowledging that. We don't want him to be. Yeah. If we take his advice, if we become, if we turn our face to Krishna, right now we are facing opposite Krishna. We are not facing towards Krishna. As soon as we face towards Krishna, all the anxieties will go away. That's what the Mundaka Upanishad is saying. That's what the definition. Here also, Arjuna is wanting to do the same thing. Yeah. So Krishna, what is he? Therefore, he is now fulfilling his position as a super soul. What is he telling Arjuna? You don't have to lament because you're not the body. So that's what he is giving instruction. All Arjuna has to do is now follow Krishna's instructions. If he follows Krishna's instructions, then there will be no cause for lamentation. All the lamentation will go away. Yeah, that's what is also mentioned in the further slide here. Yeah. Analogy of the two birds, opinion of the modern scientists about the change of the body. Yeah, we all know changing of the bodies. Transference, how does it transference is a nice point here. How does the transference of the atomic soul to another body is possible? By the grace of the super soul. We saw desires and past deeds. All our desires, all our past deeds create different bodies for us. Oh, I want to sleep, nobody disturb me. Okay, take a body of a bear. Oh, I like to go fly everywhere. Yes, take a body of a bird. So desires and past karmas, basically, the super soul uses all of this particular desires and past deeds to create new bodies. Yeah. And references are given in the Mundaka and the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Yeah. So that is what is happening here. Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna the position of the soul. What does the soul do? It keeps on moving from one body to the other. Yeah. So how does this understanding help Arjuna? Yeah. So that is what the key point here is, that this particular understanding comes in here because Arjuna is not wanting to kill the bodies of his grandfather and teacher, isn't it? Whereas what is now Krishna telling? No, those bodies are already old. If you help them, they will get new bodies, they will get fresh bodies, they will get fresh garments. Yeah. And of course, they will get benefited because their deeds are glorious, isn't it? They're going to fight in the battlefield, and every Kshatriya who fights in the battlefield, they get into higher planets, basically, is what the point Lord Krishna makes. That's what he says in the next verse. Yeah, let's see. In the next verse, that even if you kill the body, the soul, nothing is going to happen to the soul. So further, now properties of the soul discussed here in the next verse. Let's look at this verse. Yeah, Veena Mataji, you can say the shloka.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah.
Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahiti pavakah न चैनम क्लेद्य न्यन्त्यापो न शोष्यति मारुतः.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, translation. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Yeah.
I can only see the two lines of the translation. Okay. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind.
So the soul, how unchangeable it is. Krishna is now trying to explain to Arjuna that how unchangeable we are. We as in we the super soul, we the spirit souls. Yeah, that no weapon can cut us into pieces. So there is no, this soul is so sukshma that you cannot have any other sukshma weapon which can cut it into pieces. It can never be cut to pieces by any weapon. Nor can it be burned by fire. So there is no fire. If the soul goes into the fire, it will get burned. No, nothing will happen. Nor can it be moistened by water. So if you put the soul in the water, the soul die, or will the soul? No, the water will not even touch the soul. It will not get moistened. nor withered by the wind. So if there is a large mountain and a lot of wind is flowing, what happens to the mountain? Slowly over a period of time, the entire mountain becomes withered. The mountain becomes smaller. Why? Because of the wind which keeps on, hitting the mountain. But for the soul, nothing of that sort will happen. It will not get withered by the. So that is how sukshma the soul is. That's what the understanding here is, that even though in the war, if Arjuna is going to go and kill and uses weapons, the weapons are not sukshma enough or subtle enough to touch the soul. Only the body can be touched. The soul cannot be touched. That is what the point here is. Srila Prabhupada talks about different types of weapons. All these, why does Arjuna give the example of the fire and water and all of this? Is because there are different types of weapons at that particular point of time. All these fire weapons and water weapons and wind weapons and all of that were there. None of them are able to touch it. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada makes that analogy that many people don't know the types of weapons that our acharyas had earlier on, and also how scientific or how fantastic these weapons were. Whereas nowadays, all weapons are very gross. Why? Because they only talk about mass destructions, not specific destruction that happens. So that's what the point is, that no weapons are able to kill. Yeah. Also Srila Prabhupada explains how the Mayavadi philosophies or some other philosophers, they are unable to comprehend how the existence of the soul comes into place. Yeah. They all think that, we all have come in from a specific position and we've taken this particular body. He makes this nice point. Let's read this, in fact. Yeah, Veena Mataji, can you read ahead in the purport?
Yeah. The Mayavadi cannot explain how the individual soul came into existence simply by ignorance and consequently became covered by the illusory energy. Nor was it ever possible to cut the individual souls from the original supreme soul. Rather, the individual souls are eternally separated parts of the supreme soul. Because they are atomic individual souls eternally, Sanatana, they are prone to be covered by the illusionary energy, and thus they become separated from the association of the Supreme Lord. Just as the sparks of fire, although one in quality with the fire, are prone to be extinguished when out of the fire. In the Varaha Purana, the living entities are described as separated parts and parcels of the Supreme.
Okay, hold
They
on.
are
Yeah. So now this is the point that Varaha Purana, what does it make? It makes the point that the spirit souls are what? They are separated parts and parcels of the Supreme. So Supreme is so much powerful. Nobody can destroy the Supreme Lord. Right? Therefore, even the soul, if they're part and parcel of that particular super soul, then nothing can happen to that particular atomic soul also. Yeah. And the analogy given that is of a fire, a lot of sparks are coming out. Yeah. So fire is Krishna and a lot of sparks are coming out, which are the super souls. But what happens when the spark goes away from the Lord? The spark gets extinguished, or it doesn't have so much of power. It becomes, it's prone to get extinguished, isn't it? So we are also, if we stay away from Krishna for a long point of time, then we will also, we will just become bodies. Our original soul will it will get almost killed. That is what is the point here. But what is the point? The point is that they are all eternal. That even though they are, they are coming into different bodies. The bodies might get killed, but the soul, nothing will happen to the soul. No kind of weapon can kill the soul. Yeah. So only when we get to comprehend and understand this, that, oh, I am not the body, then all the other, knowledge starts to become free for us to flow and understand. Yeah. Further discussions about the soul here given by Lord Krishna again. Yeah, let's look at. So four more qualities in your mind map. cannot be touched. Previous one cannot be touched by fire, cannot be touched by water, cannot be touched by the wind. Yeah. And what was the fourth one? Fire, water, wind, and cut by weapons. Yeah. It cannot be cut by weapons. So let's see now what does he say further about, what does Lord Krishna say further about the soul? Yeah, Ashish Prabhuji can read.
Hare Krishna. Achedyo yamadayo yam akledyo sosya evacha nitya sarvagata sthanur rachalo yam sanatana.
Very nice, very nice.
This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burnt nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Yeah. Again, the eternal concept again is getting described here. But further point that is unbreakable. So a weapon cannot cut it, nor can you take a hammer and put it so that it becomes into two pieces. No, soul cannot even. It's unbreakable. If you put it into water and try to dissolve it, or into any acid, if you try to dissolve it, it is insoluble. That is how Krishna adds. Yeah. And can be neither burnt nor dried. So nothing can happen to the soul. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. So many adjectives given to the soul. That is how the position of the soul is. So we can see that 23, 24. Soul not be cut by weapon, nor moistened by water, nor burned by fire, nor withered by wind. Yeah, or yeah, so you can see this nice all the other further points. It's unbreakable, insoluble, neither burned nor dried, everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. So soul, again, the point is nothing happens to the soul, nothing will happen to us. What is happening is only we are thinking I am the body and something is bad is happening to the body, but the body itself is a bunch of chemicals. Yeah. Soul, nothing is going to happen. So if we really comprehend this, then the question might come is, okay, so I am feeling this dukkha, I am feeling this unhappiness, I am feeling this sukha, yeah, or I am feeling this pain. Who is feeling this pain? Because the soul is Satchidananda. It can never feel anything, and the body is nothing but a dead matter, isn't it? So when the dukkha comes, who is the one who is suffering? Is it the soul who is suffering, or is the body which is suffering?
Body.
How can the body suffer?
Okay.
Body is only chemicals, no?
Because any pain comes to the body. Soul is changing from one body to another body. So
Correct. So body is anyway, it's dead matter, right? How can the body suffer? Correct, no? Body can't suffer. Body is just chemicals, right? Body is just bhumi, rapo, analo, vayu, kham. So body, nothing happens. Body, if the soul is not there in the body, nothing happens to the body. So body is not suffering, basically. And is the soul suffering? It has to be the soul, right?
yeah, Prabhu. So
But the soul is the Satchidananda. How can the soul suffer? And so nothing happens to the soul. It's unbreakable, insoluble. It cannot be burned, dried. It is always changed, non-changing, nor can it unbreakable. And it's always blissful, Satchitananda. The soul is also
but
not
soul
suffering.
has a mind and false ego, no, Prabhuji.
But that is part of the
So
body,
due
right?
to
It's part of the body.
no, that
Karma.
is
Sorry, Sonal Mataji, were you saying?
Prabhuji, I was saying karma.
Karma
Does
causes suffering. But who is the
yeah.
one who is suffering? Is it the soul who is suffering or the body which is suffering? Karma is right. Karma is, yes, you get good or bad karmas, and because of that, you get happiness or distress or unhappiness or, dukkhas. Yeah, or sukhas, basically. But who is the one? Who is the one
The
enjoying, or
body
who is the one?
suffers.
But that's what I'm saying. No? The body is dead matter. Body, nothing can happen to the body, right? Body is just dead matter. It is just chemicals.
Isn't
How
it
can
a
the body?
soul, the jiva, which is suffering?
The jiva
Prabhuji,
is
it is the
Satchidananda.
But
Jivatma
jiva is
suffering through the body.
Yes, Mataji, yeah, Veena Mataji, you're saying it is suffering what? Through the body.
Jivatma through the body, because
Yes.
it is so much connected to the body and detached with the super soul that
Hmm.
it feels the pain and pleasure through the
Correct.
body.
Correct. It's like, so for example, let me give you an analogy of a dream or a nightmare rather. You're sleeping, and in the sleep you have seen a very dangerous nightmare where a tiger is coming and is following, is running behind you, and you're also running. Yeah, and the tiger pounces on you is what you're seeing in the dream. Yeah, but when you wake up, has anything happened to your body? Nothing has happened to your body. Yeah, but in the dream, did you feel it fully? That, oh my God, yes, this I can feel the tiger's hands on my body, and in the dream you felt it, right? Why? Because in the dream you thought you were in that dream. Yeah. Here, same way, the soul thinks it is the body, and because it thinks it is the body, all of these distresses, happiness, anger, greed, all of those, yeah, basically is what we will discuss this further. But in reality, does, just like in the reality, in the nightmare, does the body actually suffer? No. When you wake up, there is nothing. There is no tiger. There is no marks on your body. There is nothing which has happened, isn't it? Yeah. So the point is that who is suffering? It is our assumption. It is our illusion that we think that we are suffering, basically. Whereas neither the just like after we wake up in a dream, we know that, oh, it was just a nightmare or it was just a dream. Same way, when we wake up at a soul level, we will understand, oh, that was just a dream. I was nothing of this was happening. There is no dukkha, there is no sukha. Yeah, that is what the entire understanding here is of this. Why is the focus given on the soul? Because the soul is all of these properties, unbreakable, eternal, it is always happy, it's always Satchidananda. So that's the clear understanding here, that the soul is everlasting and Satchidananda. Nothing happens to the soul. Also, one more aspect here that comes in is the point about sarvagataha. So if you see here, one more adjective which is used is here is sarvagataha. Sarvagataha, in the synonyms, if you see, it says is all pervading. What do you think this means? What is this property of the soul called sarvagataha? Any guesses? What does this mean? Nobody? Any guesses?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Very nice, but we are not everywhere, no? It's talking about the soul. The soul is everywhere. How do you understand this? Soul is everywhere.
It's a soul concept.
Very nice. It's a concept of soul. It's a concept of souls. Yeah, the plural souls. Souls are available everywhere. Sarvagataha. So that's what it means. That souls are, if you go to the depths of the sea, in the deep of the Pacific Ocean, you will see souls there. Some form of fish or some form of, bacteria or some form of snake or eel or whatever. Soul is present there. You go to, the highest of the mountains, you will see souls there as trees, as different kind of animals, or all of this thing. So wherever you go in the material world, souls are there. Now, wherever you go in the material world, souls are present. That is what this word sarvagataha means. Very important for us to comprehend this aspect. Srila Prabhupada makes this point in the purport. He says importance of the word sarvagataha, all pervading. What does he say? This is significant because the living entities are present all over God's creation. Everywhere souls are there. We might think, oh, moon does not have. No, it has souls there also. We might think, oh, Mars does not have. No, it has souls there also. Everywhere souls are there. Maybe we are not able to get to them as of now. They're present in water, air, land, or even fire. So even fire has, some type of, there are fiery bacteria which have been found, which reside only in fire. Yeah. Even if you look at our own stomach, The stomach has such a strong Jataragni. It's also a fire, the fire of digestion. Even in that fire of digestion, there are bacteria and there are some kind of good bacteria which are living there, which helps us to digest our. So what are those bacteria? They are also souls, finally, isn't it? So they are present everywhere. Yeah. So here Srila Prabhupada makes this, that therefore sterilization by fire is refuted here because soul cannot be burned by fire. Living entities are also present in the sun with those fiery bodies. That is what Srila Prabhupada is telling us. So souls are present everywhere. Sarva Gataha. Different types of different properties of the soul is what we can see in this particular point here. And that's what Srila Prabhupada makes the word Sarvagataha, all pervading, because souls are present in all over God's creation. That's what is the point. Sorry, Sachin Prabhu had a point. I think you raise your hand. Go ahead. No? Oh, okay. Hand is down. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the next shloka here. Yes,
Prabhuji, you already mentioned
Ah.
that that I was thinking about the extraterrestrial life, and you said they may be present on Mars.
Of course,
So
yeah.
Bhagavad Gita is like much advanced. It says it's souls everywhere.
Exactly. Very nice. Fantastic. Okay, let's look at further properties of the soul on shloka number 25. Yeah, Anadi wants to read this one.
Yeah, one question before that.
Question was there. Okay, great.
The Mars, they have said they have gone and they are having the findings of that. So how couldn't they still find the souls there? Or
maybe they are very sukshma. So, for example, maybe they are only available in some specific bacteria form or whatever. Anyway, they found water also or remnants of water. So maybe temporarily they've got lupta. We don't know. Just because souls are not found there does not mean that they are not there. You get the point? Maybe still more this thing will happen, research will happen, and we'll come to know, somebody will, another 50 years down the line, will say, yes, we can see this type of bodies there or whatever. We don't know yet.
suitable to that
Suitable to that
atmosphere and-
environment, just like suitable to the fire environment. Let's look at a simple example, right? If we look at water, can we stay in water? As humans, we cannot stay in water, but there are fishes in water, right? And they have the right kind of body for living in that water. So and even if you look at sand, yeah, there are these earthworms which live inside the sand, isn't it? Yeah, earthworms living in the sand, and there are so many other living entities which live only under the sand. They don't live. They have that type of body. So if you see air, Bhumir, Apo, Analo, if all of these have different types of bodies for different living entities, then fire will also have. Even Mars environment will also have that type of a body. Maybe our body is not conducive to live there. Yeah. So for example, can we stay inside water? No, we cannot stay inside water. We can stay only for some time. Maybe we'll bring some additional equipment to stay in water. But even after that, the equipment, oxygen gets over, we have to come out of that water. So we cannot stay in water. In the same way, maybe Mars climate is such that we cannot stay there. But there are different body types which will allow there. So maybe they are there. We don't know. Not only in Mars, in other planets, in so many stars are there. I'm sure somewhere there will be, definitely.
Yeah, sure. Maybe need more
research is needed, probably, or maybe we're not trying hard enough.
or maybe we are not gone to Mars itself.
Yeah, that also is there. Yes. That also is there.
As Prabhupada said, they're not
We've
gone
not
to
gone to the
moon.
moon yet. Yeah,
They're not gone to the moon exactly.
correct.
Okay,
let's read the 25th verse.
Avyaktoyam achintoyam avikaryoyam muchyate tasmadevam viditvainam नानुशोचे तुमर्हसि.
Very nice.
It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body.
So now Krishna is coming to the main point. Why is he giving information about the soul? Because the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. There is it basically, it invisible means not visible to the eye. It does not mean it does not exist. It exists, but it is invisible. It is inconceivable. Why? Because we cannot think about the soul because we are so much in our bodily concept. Immutable is split. Can it be split? No, it cannot be split also. Yeah. So obviously, if you know all these properties of the soul, does it make sense to grieve for the body? No, the body will anyway become old and it will anyway go away. So you don't worry, you are doing your duty, and as part of your duty, if fighting is part of your duty, you should execute your duty. That is what Krishna's point here is towards Arjuna. Yeah. So many times, many people know what is the proof of the soul. It is invisible, it is inconceivable, it is immutable. Therefore, what is the proof of the soul? Is what the question might come as. So now many times we have to just like a small say for a 3 or 4 year old boy, if we tell him about integration, if we tell him about astrology, astronomy, will he be able to understand? He will not be able to understand, right? Because it is still beyond his conception, beyond his brain has not evolved as much to understand. So but those things exist, right? So same way we have to at some points of time have to have faith, have to have an acceptance that what the Vedas say is the truth. Yeah. So that's what here Srila Prabhupada makes this point, that there are many things we have to accept solely on the grounds of superior authority. Yeah. And who is the superior authority here? It is Lord Krishna. Yeah. And Lord Krishna is saying this particular aspect. Yeah. So analogy given again by Srila Prabhupada to make this point, he says, no one can deny the existence of his father based upon the authority of the mother. Mother says this person is your father. The jiva or the son has to accept it, isn't it? He cannot not accept it thinking, oh no, I will not believe in the authority of my mother. Who else can you believe in? So that is what the point here. That even though soul is invisible, immutable, and what is the other verb, other adjective used? Inconceivable.
Adjective.
Inconceivable. We have to accept the presence of the soul. Invisible, inconceivable, immutable. This another further set of adjectives for the soul. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So that's what here, soul as invisible, soul as inconceivable. No one can see, so small, you can't even put in a microscope and see. We see in the size of the soul. Inconceivable, no one can establish the existence of the soul by human experimental efforts. It has to be understood as realization. Yeah, we have to realize it only for us to really like for example, there are many of these x-rays. There are so many of these waves which are beyond our human conception, but they exist. Is it? X-rays exist. Even beyond x-rays there are much more finer types of rays which are existing, and all we know them as only as physical formulas. We can't see them, we can't measure them. Same way, when it becomes more and more and more subtle, it goes beyond our material conception. Therefore it's called inconceivable, and soul is that particular aspect. Yeah. And soul is immutable because it never gets split, never gets changed. Yeah, we've seen that particular aspect here. Yeah. So now this is a nice which we can do as a small exercise. Is let's all take 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let's all take 10 minutes And from verse 2.17, yeah, everybody in your own book, on book, from 2.17 to 2.25, just make a list of adjectives used for the soul. Is okay everybody to do that? Only look at the translations. Yeah, 2.17 till 2.25. Look at only the translations. Make a list in your notebook of all the adjectives used for the soul. Yeah, let's take 10 minutes and we'll come back. Okay, everybody on your own pace in your own books and this. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's see what you have collated. Let's make a list holder as a collective group discussion. Just give me a minute. I will share the... Okay, great. So tell me, we'll make a full set of notes. What have you found from 17 to 25?
Soul is indestructible, imperishable,
Indestructible. Okay, hold on. Indestructible. Okay. Imperishable, you said. Okay.
eternal,
Eternal. Okay. Others can pitch in also, not a problem.
Immeasurable. Immeasurable.
Immeasurable.
Unborn, eternal,
Unborn. And eternal is done, right? Unborn is good. Okay. Unborn.
ever
Everlasting.
existing,
Everlasting and ever existing. Wait.
Primeval.
Existing. Primeval. Okay.
all pervading, all pervading,
All pervading. Sarvagataha. Very nice. Very important one.
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Okay. Yeah, the four that we saw in the end.
invisible, immovable,
Invisible. Immovable. Was immovable there? I am not sure.
yeah, it was in
It
one.
is
I'll
there in
just
2.24. It is
Immovable.
there.
It's there? Okay. Immovable. Okay. Okay. Then it's there, right? Okay.
inconceivable and immutable.
Conceivable. Immutable.
Unchangeable.
Unchanging. Yes. Very nice.
Everlasting.
Everlasting we put up. It's there already.
Insoluble.
Insoluble. Very nice.
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable is done here.
Okay. Insoluble.
Non-slayer, non-slain.
Cannot be slain.
Slain.
Present everywhere.
That is Sarvagataha. We did that, right? Present everywhere is all pervading.
Eternal. Did we did eternal?
Eternal we did.
Cannot-
Yes, it's there. Eternal.
Kutastaha.
What is that?
Kutastaha. Steady. Soul is steady.
Steady. S-T-A-D-Y. Okay. Steady was very nice. What else?
Transfers from one body to another.
Transferable. From body
Body
to
to
body.
body.
Okay. Very nice. More.
Not a slain.
That I said cannot be slain and cannot slay. Nice. Yeah, I think we've covered most of it.
Prabhuji, can we also include Anu Atma and Vibhu Atma?
It is small, that way you're saying. It's very tiny.
Yeah.
Very tiny. Vibhu Atma is not the soul, right? That is the super soul.
Super.
So yeah, very tiny as in Anu, we can say. Okay.
Not be killed is like same as slain, or
Yeah, that's what we said. Cannot be slain. Cannot be killed.
killed. Immeasurable. Did we put immeasurable?
Immeasurable, we put somewhere. Immeasurable,
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
immeasurable.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good. Something more?
All of the body, Sarvam.
What about Satchit Ananda?
Satchitanand and Sarvam as well, Prabhuji. Like
Yeah,
it's all
Ananda
of
as in Sat is there. Sat is eternal. Chit is all knowledgeable. It's knowing. All knowing. Yeah. And sorry, what you're saying, Sachin Prabhu?
Sarvam. I don't know. It's like Sarvam is like all over the body. It's not only present at one. I mean, it's present
Ah,
everywhere in the body, kind of.
okay, okay. It is
It's more of body related term, Sarvam.
within the body, it is all over.
Yeah, Sarvam.
It is pervasive. Or it pervades the body. Yeah, we've seen that 2.17 that says, yeah, very nice. And Ananda, as in it's all blissful.
Active, what call it? It's always active. Is it
Active, yes, very nice. Yeah, it'll come in third chapter, but yes, it is active. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it come in the head.
Yeah, very nice. But I think, yeah, we've covered most of it. We've seen now these are so many different. Yeah.
Shaswata, which is permanent.
Shashwat.
Shaswata.
Shashwata is eternal only, right?
Okay, permanent or eternal.
Eternal. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, so I think that's a good overall setup for us to, if you look at now, what does the
We should have this saved, this qualities.
yeah, it's there on the chart also. Yeah, 1 minute.
Maybe we can
trying
put
to
this
put
in
up in
the
the
group
chart.
or something.
I'll put it in the group also. But yeah, here you can see nice summary also. Eternally an individual. That's we missed. Soul is an individual. Soul is, we are all individuals, unique. So maybe that could be one thing that we can put. It is unique and individual. Then soul is unborn. We saw that. Soul is indestructible, eternal. We saw immeasurable. We saw soul does not undergo any of the changes, unchangeable. That also we saw. Immutable. It cannot be cut, burnt, dried, or wet. That's what we saw. Immovable, unchangeable, everlasting, and eternally the same also. Position of the soul, where is it's in the heart. We can say that's the additional information present everywhere. Sarvagataha. How to perceive the soul? Yeah, no human experiment can, therefore it's inconceivable. Symptoms is individual consciousness. Yeah, only proof of the soul is Vedic. There is no, you can't prove the soul in any kind of a scientific experiment, unfortunately. Of course, there are attempts made, especially I remember I don't know whether it was true or not, but as a small child, we were told how there was, they kept just about to die body in a very fully closed kind of environment. And when he died, suddenly there was a crack in the glass, and I think the soul went out or something. Is what I don't know whether it is true or not, but that is how it was kind of given. But I mean, now that of course in maturity, when I think that maybe that soul will remain there, and it might remain for some time there and not do anything, and only when somebody opens up the door, it will then go out. It need not, do the breaking of the glass or whatever. But anyway, there are certain experiments of like that which have been reported, but I don't know if they are peer reviewed and they are fully authoritative. Yeah, anyway, so that is the presence of the soul. Influence, yeah, this is Sachin Prabhu's point. Influence of the soul, it pervades the entire body. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and yeah, so many things about the soul we saw. Yeah, some further characteristics mentioned in further shlokas now, which we saw: unbreakable, insoluble, burned. Yeah, all of these. Yeah. So many aspects of the soul is what Krishna is describing uh, to Arjuna. For what? Uh, just to ensure that he does not have to lament for the body. Yeah, that is because soul, you don't have to lament because soul is eternal and always existing, nothing happens. That is what he establishes in the 26th verse, which we will just look at the translation and we'll close for the day. Yeah, Shamila Mataji can do this one. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Shamila Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guruji. अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि.
Very nice.
If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty arm.
Yeah. So now Krishna is coming from a different angle. First, he came from the concept of the soul. That soul, nothing happens to the soul. It is all of these 25, 30 qualities. Therefore, you don't have to lament. But he says, even if you think that the body, yeah, is going. If you think the soul or the symptom will always be born and die forever, still you don't have to worry because once it dies, then it is never going to come back. So what's the problem? That's what the point that Lord Krishna is making. Yeah. So if, however, you think that the soul will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament. Yeah, because it is die means death, it's forever now. Then there is nothing to worry now. Dead and gone now. If you think that soul is dead, but of course that is not the case. But if you think that nothing is once the soul is dead, nothing is going to be there, it's going to be dead forever, then still why to lament? There's no need to lament, is what the point here Srila Prabhupada, Lord Krishna makes. And the discussion is quite interesting. Srila Prabhupada explains different types of philosophies to kind of get to the point of how the soul is eternal and there is not a problem if the body dies. Yeah. So that's what we will discuss in our next class on next Sunday. Hare Krishna. Okay, any comments or thoughts to what we've seen today?
Prabhuji has sent something in the chat box. I actually couldn't. It's too long. The messages.
Oh, acha, sir. So Mars, about Mars. I think Sachin Prabhu has put.
Yeah, it's quite detailed.
Microbial growth in actual Martial environments. Yeah, I think it's possible, probably. Yeah, so maybe there will be some things which can remain there.
Prabhu can put in the group so we can go in details.
Yeah, I think it's there. Yeah, we can put it in the group also. Hare Krishna. Anyways, okay. So if there are no other comments, then let's close for the day. एकम शास्त्रम देवकी पुत्र गीतम एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्रः तस्य नामानि यानि कर्मापि एकम तस्य देवस्य सेवा त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतः क्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कात्यायनी महामाये महायोगिन्यधीश्वरी नन्दगोपसुतं देवी पतिं मे कुरुते नमः श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम दासोऽहं कृष्ण तवास्मि श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम दासोऽहं कृष्ण तवास्मि श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम दासोऽहं कृष्ण तवास्मि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीमद् भगवद गीता पाठ की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and everyone.
Hare Krishna. Bye bye.
Hare